Hi, welcome to my channel, Stitching in Costume. My name is Catherine Adrienne. I'm so happy you could join me. Hi Flosstube, I'm so thrilled that I am back after a month. It has been a whirlwind of activity. Here we are, it's spring in the foothills of California. All of the greenery is exploding and there are lots of things to do outside, but that doesn't stop me from stitching. Whew. Okay, so here we are. It is Flosstube number 17, and I am so thrilled. If you are a subscriber and you are returning, I'm really grateful for you coming on back and checking in with me. And if you're new, well, this is where a channel where I talk about my stitching. I do a lot of different things, but today I'm going to be talking mostly about cross stitch. And then I have some cross stitch and some more cross stitch. So, and if you hear snoring, it's a corgi that is down here somewhere. And she's my Velcro dog, I call her. She's always around. My little teal. Okay, let's see. Let me jump right in. And I'd like to say that it feels like I've done more Flosstube than I have because I joined Susan Stanley on one of her Flosstubes, and if you haven't watched that, I will link that below. We got together and talked about chintz fabric. It was so kind of her to ask me to do that. I didn't really know a lot about it. I've seen chintz and I've seen it in costume, but I hadn't really delved into it, and I hadn't made anything out of chintz really. No, I haven't. So I did some research to prepare for that, and it was fascinating. Really fun deep dive into the world of chintz. So if you haven't seen it already, go check her out, and she shares some amazing quilts, and her stitching is beautiful. She's working on Dutch Beauty, gorgeous. Anyway, love Susan. So yeah, I almost feel like I've shared more than I have, but you know what I mean. I'm back. So here we go. I'm going to jump in with my WIP Go. I'm going to start with that, and this is a project with Jessie Marie does stuff. Started WIP Go, I think it was a couple years ago, and I've talked about it on my Flosstubes before. You basically put all of your projects that you want to work on or focus on, and you put them on like a bingo kind of setup, and then she calls 2 numbers every month. You work on those 2 projects for whatever the goal is. So for me, the first one that she called was number 7. I couldn't be more excited. It is something that I have been longing to start. Let me see, here it is. And I had it all kitted up. I've had this kitted up for about 6 months. It is Jane Stanwyck's, and let me pull it out here. This is by let's see, Samplers Revisited. So that is what it will look like. I love it so much, and I know a lot of people have finished this. I think it's Carol Crago on Instagram posted a recent, she just got it framed. It's gorgeous. So I have it kitted up. I put my own flosses together, just kind of based on the picture and based on, I think, the called for flosses. I used things that I had in my stash, and that's kind of what I came up with. That's what I came up with. So I started it, And let me pull it out here. I'm doing this on a piece of 36 count parchment by Weeks Dye Works. And I apologize ahead of time for the non-ironing. There's a lot of not being ironed going on here just because I have so many things that I'm trying to accomplish. So this is where I started, down at the bottom, and I'm working my way into that beautiful house. That red I'm using is Cupid by, I think it's Weeks Dye Works. Let me just check it out here. It might be, no, it's not Weeks. It is Cupid by Classic Colorworks. I love the variegation and the brightness. And the other red that I'm using is Current. So I thought those kind of worked together. And the blue for the border is Classic Colorworks Bell Swap Peacock. So I couldn't resist adding the bright colors in there. So I'm really having a lot of fun with that. I'm doing a bit of stitching in hand. I'm okay when it comes to the big blocks like that, stitching in hand. And it seems to go, it goes fast when I stay on track. And so when it's a pretty rectangular kind of thing, I'm okay with it. It's when I get into the viney portions of things that I lose count and can tend to get off on that. So that's my WIP Go #1, and my goal for that was 5 days, but I think I'm just gonna focus on it. It'll be one of my focus pieces for this month. My other WIP Go is Christmas Garden. Now, you know, if you've watched me before, you know I have mixed feelings about Christmas Garden. I really love the design, and let me pull out the chart here. This is by Blackbird. If you don't know, it's in Home for the Holidays. And boy, I started this last year. I have a love-hate with it because I see so many people do it and they've finished it or they're working on it now. I know oh, Olivia from Pumpkin Hollow Quilts is working on it, and she's using the called for colors, and it's just so beautiful. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful design. Let me pull out the, let me see if I can pull it in the book here without, how pretty that is. So I went a little crazy with the colors. And I just picked colors I liked, which I do like them. I love the colors, and I do love them together. I'm just not in love with them with this project the way I have it set up. So I'm kind of tweaking it as I go, and I think I'm just going to keep pushing. I'm just going to push through and tweak it if I feel like I really need to. This is where I am on it, and you can see. It's beautiful, right? It's a great design, but that yellow, it's called Queen Bee. I think it's Classic Colorworks. I'll pull it out in a second. I had it in a lot more places, and I've been slowly kind of pulling it out and redoing. And I had a little consult with my daughter this morning who is an artist, and I said, you know, the yellow, I just don't know. And she said, well, she said, why don't you pull out the yellow little doodads and, you know, change them for the golden brown. It's like a 420. It is Victorian motto, a version of 420, that golden brown. The called for color, I think, was fool's gold, but it just disappeared into this. Okay, this fabric, let me pull this out. This fabric is, make sure I get it right, is 36 count vintage pearled barley by Lakeside. So it's a gorgeous fabric. It is kind of on the darker side, the fabric, so some of the things were getting lost, and certainly fool's gold just got completely lost on it, and so I wanted it to pop more. I'm popping, it's popping. And I'm, yeah, I don't know. At one point I was like, well, maybe I'll just spray it all with antique stuff, you know, or coffee, stain it after I'm done. But I don't know. Anyway, let me know what you think. The yellow, I was all excited because the yellow's name is Queen Bee. Queen Bee, I've got to have that. And it does look really pretty with the other colors. But it feels like maybe for this design, I wish I would have gone in the more, but it's coming along. And I love that it popped up on my WIP Go, because it was languishing because I was kind of out of love with it. Not the design. I love the design. Like I've said before, I wish I would have done the original colors, but yeah, I'm glad that I'm working on it again. So that is back in my rotation, and I love it. I do. It's gonna be good. Okay, let's move on. So in terms of finishes, I do have a finish from this book. So I have been participating in Merritt Crawford and Kim Goldman are hosting a Blackbird Designs Christmas Stocking Sal. I will link that below, or I'll flash that across here. That's the hashtag on Instagram. So I clawed my way into it, and I finished the assignment for the third month, which is stocking number 3. And let me show you where that is. So yes, the problem I had, I love this, I love it. But rather than do the Smyrna crosses, I got mixed up and I did eyelet. I started doing eyelet stitches for this, and then I realized, oh, that calls for Smyrna crosses. This is gonna take you a while. So I just did the eyelets right there. Let's see if I can focus on that. Right at the top there. And then I moved into Smyrna crosses down here on the heart and finished it. And I just finished it a couple days ago. So I was a little bit late finishing, but the goal is to get, I believe there's 5 stockings, to get all 5 by, yeah, the first, you know, I'll get it done by June probably. And so again, it's from home for the holidays. And so now I am working on stocking number 4. Let me pull that out. I really do love them. I'm so excited that I'm gonna have all of these done. Okay, that was 3, here's 4. It's called Holly and Ivy. And that's what it will look like. And I'm doing this on a 36 count, actually 35 count, and it's kind of a mystery. It was a big piece of Zweigart that was in my stash, and it was kind of a cream colored. And so I soaked it in coffee for 3 days and then rinsed it out. And that's what I got, was that color. It's a lightly mottled, and I'm hoping I have enough. So this is my start on stocking number 4. And so what I'm doing is I'm gonna turn it this way. So that is the bottom, that's the toe, and it will come up. And what I'm hoping is that I'll be able to get all 5 of them on this piece. So this is, that's where I am. I think I'll be able to fit them all on. So hopefully I'll get stocking number 4 done this month, and I'll be on track to finish all of those, and then get them fully finished in time for Christmas. That's my goal. Hopefully I'll get them done beforehand. Really pretty. I'm really enjoying this stitch along, and loving to see everybody's progress. And I am using Belle Soie on this. Am I using? Yeah. So it's cranberry Belle Soie. So the same thing that I'm using on Christmas Garden is the cranberry Belle Soie. I'm also using on the stockings, and I should have plenty. I've got a whole another skein of it. So that is the Belsois Cranberry. And I'm just using 1 strand of floss over 2 linen threads. That's generally my comfort zone for all of my projects. I find that 40 count, I like 40 count, and I think I have a couple of things that are 40 count that I'm going to pull out here, but 36 count is really, really my comfort zone. It's what I really enjoy stitching on with just 1 strand of floss. It just makes it so much easier. Okay, so those are, oh, that's a finish. The reason I jumped into that is I also have a finish for Jessie Watson. So this was a stitch along I did with Barbara Raspberry Stitcher for Autism Awareness Month, and I just finished it last night. Yesterday was her son Ayrton's birthday, and so the goal was to start on his birthday and to finish on his birthday. That's what she had wanted to do, and a lot of other stitchers just pushed through and finished it. I had almost forgotten that I was almost done with it, and then I saw Barbara post yesterday, oh, happy birthday to Ayrton, and here's my finish, and her finish is just gorgeous. And so I pulled mine out last night, and I said, I better go, because I just had some stitching to do on the border. So I got that done. And this is on a piece of 36 count Silk Weaver Buttercream. And there it is. All done. So I think this is my second completed Hands Across the Sea chart. I love their charts, and I used the Victoria Clayton silks. I'm going to show those in a second. They're beautiful, you know, and I hadn't, this is the first one that I had used those silks on, because she puts together kits, and you can go on and get all of the flosses in one go, and they're affordable. And they are a dream to work with. Like I said, this is 36 count. It's a little bit light, the coverage, but I think it's beautiful, and they're just so nice to work with. So I have another project I'm going to show you in a sec that I have these flosses for, and hoping to get some more for one other one I'm going to show you. So I'm trying to, you know, not go crazy with all of my my spending right now. I know Laura, the serial starter, was talking about that with Brenda and Laura, and I was like, yeah, I feel like I've been going a little crazy. I'm going to kind of pull it in a little bit. So I'm just going to pay attention a little bit more. You know, I'm going to say, okay, what am I spending? Because sometimes I don't know, it gets away from me. So let me grab those silks to show you. These are the Vicky Clayton. Is that what I said? I hope. Yeah, Victoria Clayton silks. Oh, so pretty. And I have so much left because I only used 1 strand of floss. It's very generous. It's so soft. It's really nice. It's soft, but it has a good it's nice to work with. It doesn't fray as much. It's really, really pretty. So I have enough to do a small sampler, I think. And the colors, you can't beat them. Really, really pretty. So again, that was Jessie Watson, 1816 by Hands Across the Sea. And I got the PDF on that one, and I had to get it immediately. So that was, yay, finish number 2. Okay, on that note, let's see, what have I got? New starts. Well, I showed you my new starts. So I had the Blackbird Design stocking number 4 and Jane Stanwyck's. Those were my new starts. So I am going to get into my WIPs. These are my works in progress. I have quite a few. Well, I have a lot, but these are my focus pieces. So I'm going to start off with, I think this was from my WIP Go last year, or not last year, from last month. And this is Rose Cottage Pin Keep, and it's by Stacy Nash. Let me pull it out. It's a beautiful, beautiful chart. Love it. Love the colors. Let me pull out my floss. A lot of times I just put on the floss a tag that says what I'm working on. This is a 36 count Picture This Plus Heartland, and it's the DMC floss. And pull out my progress here. So I did pretty good on it. You know, I do find the 36 count, I find this particular fabric to be a little bit tighter at the weave. So that is 1 strand of floss over 2 linen threads, and that is where I am on that. Making my way down, I outlined that green hill, so that's easy fill-in stitching. So that is definitely TV watching, you know, kind of stitching, just kind of in hand even, you know, doing those big chunks. Once I get it outlined, I can just go and fill it in quite easily. So that's where I am on that one. Really pretty fabric and a great design. And that lives in my Teresa Kogut bag. You can get those on her Etsy shop. And loving that. It is so much fun to work on that one and to feel like you're making a little bit of progress. So that was last month's WIP Go, but I do kind of pull it out from time to time and work on it still. My other, let's see, what else do I have here? This is Rosetta Featherstone, and I worked on her just a little bit. Again, this is something that I think was not really on any kind of WIP Go or anything, but this was my afternoon sneaking up to my sewing room. So this is a couple of hours working on that. Looks like an apple tree. And a little bit more of the border berries or buds. And I am doing this one. This is a kit from Hobby House Needleworks. And I'm doing this on 36 count antique lace by Seraphim, with the called for DMC. And this was all a kit from Hobby House. And I'm not sure if it's still available. I'll pull out the chart in a second. Really pretty modeling on that though. And I love those bright colors. They just make me so happy. Really pretty. The greens. That red is really gorgeous. What is that? DMC 902. It's almost like a burgundy. And then this 321 bright red. So really enjoying that. And again, easy to work on. But I do find that, you know, especially for the tree, I need to definitely put it in a hoop. I work in a hoop if I'm usually upstairs, and if I'm down here, this is downstairs, I will be on my frame, usually standing. So that's what it will look like eventually. Right now I'm over here trying to navigate all of that, and I have to pay attention to that kind of stitching. Isn't it pretty? It's going to be gorgeous. I know a lot of people have already finished it. One thing I am doing with this is I'm putting it, I'm taking a picture on my phone and putting it into notes, you know, the notes app on my iPhone, and I can blow it up. I take a series of pictures, I blow them up on my phone, and then I can highlight when I'm done with something. Let me see if I can show that to you really quick. Yeah, so like this is my Rosetta, so you can see it on my phone, and I just kind of, I can make it bigger, and then I can go into this little button up here, and it will pull up all these highlighters. So I can, when I do something, let's say I do this, which I've already done, I go like that, and I highlight it. You don't like it, or something was not right, you push this little button right here, and it will take that off. So it's a really handy tool. I love being able to do that for some things. I mean, I'm old school. When it comes to certain things, I have to get a photocopy of my Ann Effendale. I photocopy it, and then, because I'm standing up and stitching, and I have it right on my project with me because it's so wide. I have my chart magnetized to my project, so I can look from my stitching right to the chart within, and then be able to follow it that way, because I'm stitching two-handed. So if I'm just up there and I'm in my sewing room, I'm working on the hoop, I'm trying to use the note app and highlight as I go for Rosetta, and it seems to be working out quite well. It's easy for me to kind of keep track of the project that way. Okay, let's see, let's push on. Another project that I'm working on here is I think, yes, Christy from Crosshatch Quilts is working on Consider the Lilies, I think Lori Holt too, on Sundays. And so it's kind of made me pick it up on Sundays and do just a little bit. So I got the whole border outlined. I think I've shown that before, but I have to go back and fill it in. I just did the one cross all the way around, and then I have to go back and fill in all of the foliage. So what I did in terms of motif was that flower right there, I believe is a rose. Could be carnation, looks like. And I think this little flower next to it, this big flower and this little one here, that was quite a bit. That was quite a bit of stitching. And I got a little off on one of the leaves, so I had to go rip it out and redo it. I think I also did, I did one of the border flowers. So not a lot of progress, but that was a couple of Sundays, just a couple hours, maybe a few hours working on those. And I think I was watching Lori Holt and her progress, and she was going to try to do, I think, a border flower a day. And because I think there's 40 of them. There's quite a bit. So it's a long haul on this, but it is enjoyable. The colors are just gorgeous. I'm using all the called for colors. They were a splurge for me to go to Needle in a Haystack in Alameda, California. My husband and I were in San Francisco, and I said, let's go there to Alameda. He's a good sport, so I went in and with some help got these flosses put together. There's a lot. It's a lot, and all of it will be on here someday. What is this fabric? Well, this fabric is a dream to work on. Let me pull it out here. I'm doing this on 36 count Sandcastle by Silk Weaver, and it's a big piece. Look how pretty that is. And I'm doing this, usually I will put it, because it is so wide, I think I have a roller frame that might be wide enough for this, but I like it I put it on a hoop, or you can see the hoop mark there, or I put it in Q-snaps and work on it that way sometimes. So that is a fun WIP. I'm enjoying that. Look how big that is. It's like a tablecloth almost. And I'm keeping this in. This is a big bag I got at the Daiso, which is like the dollar store here. So I love these really big ones because it goes all the way around, and I can really stuff a lot of things into it. Little tag on the outside. Okay, let's see what else have I been working on. Oh, I did a little bit of this, and I have a goal for this one. So this is MMEW 1847, and this is just my working copy of it. Whoops. And I did a floss toss and just picked out some flosses, and then as I go I change them up, so I have no idea. I'm just gone rogue on this. I'm doing all kinds of things. This is a 40 count. So this is a 40 count Lakeside exemplar. Oh, light exemplar. It looks like vintage light exemplar because it's got modeling to it. So this is a piece that I've had going for quite a while, and I think I worked on it just a little bit since you've seen it last. I did that crazy chicken there. There's a crazy chicken. And then I started on the crucifix here. So I thought, well, maybe I could get that done by Easter. So it is right up here where I am. I'm hoping to work on that this week. I don't really think that it will. Maybe I'll do that this afternoon. It will take me very long to do. It's pretty straightforward stitching, and so a lot of color. I love this one so much. There's so many fun motifs in it, and the Adam and Eve, and then when you get to the top, it's the alphabet, and so that should be a little bit more, go a little quicker. And there's no border on it. It's just really enjoying that. And this fabric is just so beautiful. I sure wish that I could just walk into a store and buy all the Lakeside I wanted. But there's a lot of great options. Hey, Rachel from Needle and Flax. Like I said, everybody's raving about it. It is beautiful. So if you haven't got a piece of that, definitely go check that out. Get on her list, right? And she's great about like, especially if you just have one piece or two pieces, it comes pretty quickly. So she's working as fast as she can. Okay, one more WIP. The Big N Affadel, drum roll. Do I have it finished? No. Do I want to finish it? Yes. So this is where this is my big, rather than have a birthday start, this is gonna hopefully be my birthday finish this year. And the Hands Across the Sea, I'm doing it in the Called For Silks. And I just took it off the roller frame, and I have not even looked at it yet in terms of seeing it with the whole thing. So I'll be seeing it at the same time you do. So yes, I have made some progress on the bottom. I've gone across from that center vase with the fruit, worked over, did the basket and the tree, the little bird on the end there, and I'm working up that tree that has all kinds of twists and turns, and I've got to really pay attention. I actually had to do the old school of printing the pattern and taping it together so I could highlight it and get those, because it kind of falls on different pages. So it's just easier for me if it's all on one page. So that's what I do. I tape it together and then I can highlight as I go. And I worked on I got the flower on the right side there. So let's see, I'll unroll it and we'll have a look at it. Oh, the sun. Okay. Here we are. So that is where I am on that. Now I'm going to try to move back so that the sun's not blaring on me. So I'm going to step back so I can get the whole thing in the frame. Let's see here. There we go. Now I'm really far away. Hello. Okay, I'm going to come in for a close-up. 36 count vintage pearl barley by Lakeside. And that's where we are. So that's what I'm hoping to do, is move across there, get that side done, and then get the other side done. And I'm hoping to get that done. It's just, you know what, this lives on my frame now. I don't really put it away. I roll it up. And I cover it. So whenever it's out, it's always covered with a big piece of linen, and all of the flosses get tucked away so that it stays clean and away from the sun. I'm a little nervous about the padded satin stitches. I don't know, just because I know I've been seeing people working on it, and Teresa from Thistle Threads is working on it, and she's just starting on the padded satin stitches. I'll link her Instagram for you to look at. So if you see that around here, so I'm not sure where I'm going to start. But the thing about the satin stitches for me, I mean, I've done a lot of padded work and satin stitch and stuff, but it feels like I have to count out the outline, you know, thread by thread. So I'm going to play with that. I mean, I'm used to doing, if I do embroidery like that, I will trace it, but that's not an option with this. I've got to count out where those leaves are going to go, outline them, and then pad them with stitches, and then satin stitch over the top. I need to just dip my toe into that. So I might start with the one down here. And I know some people are changing the verse and putting their own name there. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do actually at this point. I didn't really have a big plan in that way. So I don't know. I also have all the over one to do up in there. So saving the over one. I should just dive in and do some of it. So I'll take that in small bites. Okay, let's see. I'm going to talk a little bit here about, I did a spring exchange. I've never done anything like that before, where I stitch something for someone and someone stitches something for me. Boy, did I hit the jackpot. So I did a little, like a sewing tray. I'll insert a picture of it here. It's by Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting. It was a freebie, so I picked out some floss. I made it very springy, and made a little tray and painted it and all that stuff, and put together a package and sent that off to the person that whose name I got. And this was for Michelle Rudy Farm Girl has a Patreon account, so I'm a patron of her account, and so she put together a spring exchange stitching. So I signed up for it, going, I've never done that before, it sounds fun. And so I stitched my piece and sent it off, and then I got a box, and it was from Pat from What Do I Stitch Next on Instagram. You probably follow her. And so I got the box, and I'm like, okay, I recognize that name, but I wasn't exactly sure. And then I opened it up and I went, oh, What Do I Stitch Next? Oh, I'm in for something good here. So I got this floss. Look at how beautiful. Springy. Victorian Motto Sampler Shop. Spring Mint, Pink Petunia, and Buttercup. Look at this. So pretty. Oh my gosh. And it's so like fluffy. Beautiful, beautiful variegation. I can't wait to do something with that. She sent me these amazing scissors, Premax scissors. I've never used these before. I can't wait to start snipping things with this and make a little scissor fob. They're beautiful. A beautiful card, which was a lovely note inside. And the most. Okay, so I'm opening the box and I see that there's all of the things are wrapped in this beautiful tissue, and there's a cylinder shape. And I'm like, my kids were there and everybody's like, oh, there's a drum. Somebody made a drum for me. Look at that. I almost started crying. It is absolutely beautiful, Pat. And I think Pat watches my channel sometimes, and she said it was okay for me to show this. It is beautifully finished. I believe it's Maria Selby Humphrey. And the colors are, it's spring. It is so gorgeous, beautifully, beautifully done. It's like a damask cotton, so soft. I put it in my kitchen. I have cabinets with glass, so it lives inside. It's not exposed to all the dog hair and dust, but it is. I get to look at it every day, and thank you, thank you, thank you. Really pretty. If you have never done an exchange, it's a fun thing to get involved in. I will definitely do it again. Hopefully, I'll do something like that for Christmas, participate in something like that again, because it's such a treat. Stitchers love to get stitched things, and it's fun to know that the thing that you're stitching is going to be really appreciated by somebody. So this is something I will always treasure, and yes. Okay, I have a little project that I did I wanted to share with you. It's stitching related. It's not stitching, but I got, if you are ever like, you know, in the store and you see like Michael's or, you know, TJ Maxx, someplace like that, you know, it could be even the drugstore. They have these little boxes that have magnets in them, and they look like books. So and you are to put like a gift card inside. So what I did is I got this little book, and it looks like a book. I took out the inside and I made a little gift for my daughter because she started to stitch. So these are a little pair of scissors I put in there. I made her a little ladybug scissor fob. And I used the Yes paste that Katie Strachan recommended for gluing on paper. I could have done a little bit better job, but I used the Affirma book for vintage birds, and did an owl on the back. Lovebirds. I think they're lovebirds. And that beautiful little picture, which reminds me of our daughter Alex. And I put some needles in there. And then I did the Blackbird fabric. I'm throwing things all over the floor. That's what I do. It doesn't have enough dog hair on it. I have to throw it on the floor. So I used that Blackbird fabric. I just covered a piece of cardboard, you know, and put a little bit of felt on the back so she can use it to catch threads. It just fits in there and covers up the bottom like that. And then I made her a little counting pin. So I just took a pin that had a pearl top, and I glued on these with Gorilla Glue. I can never get my camera to focus quite well. I need to get a new phone. Hope my husband isn't watching. He'll be like, okay, let's get it. Go get it. I don't have the best cameras, but hey, you get the idea. It's a little counting pin. So I wanted something small that she could just keep over here, open up, have her own scissors. So that's a fun idea. If you see these little like booklet thingies, and they have a little magnet in them, and you can just take out the inside and stick things to the outside and make a little gift for someone or for you. I have a couple more I might do. Oh, Pat also sent this, and so I got some chocolates as well. I had to hide one because now I have one. I get to eat it. Yes. All right, let's see. I have a little bit of haul, not a lot. I have a couple of things to share. Oh, and some things that I really want to start on. So this is my immediate radar, and I'm not sure if I'm going to start it this month. It could happen. It could happen. Just because I have all of the supplies. It's all kitted, ready to go. So this is Harriet Goddard 1817, and a lot of people have done this. Brenda Sampler Stitcher showed hers. It's so pretty. So I got the Victoria Clayton silks. I'm going to just pull them out because they're kind of all over the place. See if I can show them to you. That red. The OMG red. So gorgeous. Really beautiful colors. And it's all kitted up. And the reason they're all over the place is they were in here and I had to open it and look at every single one of them. So that's why they're kind of there and not on floss drops. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the floss drops with these or not. It's just so easy to pull the floss off. This is a piece of 40 count Geo Vanilla by Tropical Stitches. And isn't that pretty? Really pretty modeling. It's got a warm feel to it, and it's long enough for this piece, just big enough. And I think it'll look really pretty on that. So I'm itching to stitch it. It's on my radar like any minute now. I'm just gonna say, let's go. I know I have a lot to finish, but that one, that could happen. Could happen. This one, another I'm dying to stitch situation, and I know I have other Blackbirds I need to finish, but this one is just so pretty. Feliz Navidad by Blackbird Design. And I have all of the called for flosses for this because I have learned my lesson with the Blackbird Design. Just, they did such a good job putting that all together. And I have a piece of, oh, this is hand dyed by Stephanie Toasted Almond, and it's a 36 count. So I think that is pretty close to what the picture looks like to me. I think it would look really pretty. I can't, what is it called for? I'm not sure what it calls for. It almost looks like it has a little bit more gold, what it calls for, but this one is really pretty. 40 count? No, 36 count. Gorgeous. Very light, pretty modeling, and I have that in another project, and that particular fabric I really love working on. So again, I don't know if it's going to be soon, but it's boop, 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 boop on my radar. Let's see. I have a couple of things that I've purchased, and I want to show you these flosses and see if anybody has used these before. I found these at the local, it's Ben Franklin Crafts, where I get my fabric, and they have all the DMC. And then I saw these, Maxi Moulin, and I thought those were really interesting. So I just picked up a couple of colors. I got, the red is the same one. They're both, because I just liked it. I thought, well, if I do it, I want two of them. If I use that for a red sampler, it looks really close to the 321, the DMC. but it feels like it has a little bit more blue to it. I thought it was really pretty. So I'm just curious if anybody's ever used these, what they thought of them. And let me see if I can get that's the label. And they're cotton, so they're all cotton. I got this green. There's not a lot, so it's not like they have a ton of colors. But I just got some things that I thought I would use color-wise. And I might go back and, ooh, that blue, that's pretty good. It's got a lot of, it's very vibrant. That's a good blue. So let me know, have you used them? Do you like them? Or if you're looking for them, Ben Franklin Crafts is where I got those. And I don't know how long they've been around, but it was intriguing to me. Let's see. I also got some fabric, and I am through the Fat Quarter shop. They have a pre-order for the new Blackbird Design fabric that is coming out soon. I know it's out in some areas of the world. I've seen people have already gotten quite a bit of it. So I did a pre-order at Kitten Stitcher for some, and then also at Fat Quarter for some. And then I was doing the pre-order for the Fat Quarter shop, and they had these things that they called Jolly Bars. So it is pre-cut pieces, and they are 5 by 10, and it was pretty affordable. So I got some, and it's called Threads That Bind, and it is really pretty. So I'm going to see if I can pull it out and show you some of it. That's really pretty. It's got a nice feel to it. I'll just peel back some of them for you. Susan Stanley on the last video she did has a section where she peels back quilts on her that she's displaying on her bed. It is amazing. Really, really talented. Ooh, that's a good one. So I know that the Threads That Bind are also, they have some sampler motif fabric. You know, the fabric that has the sampler motifs on it, but that's not in this particular, it's not in this particular fabric. The blues are pretty. So, but really pretty, and just kind of adding to my stash because I know I'm gonna get more of it, and so I could do project bags with it. And again, quilting or quilt applique. So there's so much I want to do. I have so many little projects here. Okay, a couple other things. I showed last time that, I think I showed that I ordered that, Catherine Dawson, and this is by Scattered Seed Samplers. And I can't wait to start that. I've got all the flosses ready to go. This came in. So from Market, I really only ordered 2 things so far from Market. And this was number 1. I really had to get this. And I don't have it kitted. I'm wondering if Victoria Clayton will do a silk conversion for this, which that's probably the direction I would go, and maybe do it on a 40 count. I don't know. I'd have to look in my stash. It's kind of big. Let me see. Oh, the chart. It's so beautiful. I'm not going to show you the whole chart, but I have to show you that she inside has added these pictures. Oh, it's really well done. Really, really pretty. This booklet is gorgeous. Easy to read. Does it tell me? Yeah, it's 237 by 267. So it's not tiny. There's the antique. And I think it's called Cathcart Colquhoun. Could it be Colquhoun? 1785. Beautiful. So that, again, stash. That's what I got for stash. I won't probably start it anytime soon, but I have it and I'm ready to start getting it. I also had to get this. This is a great book. I love all the hearts. I love this one so much. The birds and the hearts. Really great projects. I think this was out of print, so you can get in that one on the back. Again, don't have it kitted. So this is going to be something I do over this year, is start to collect the floss and start with something on the smaller side. I really love these hearts. I would love to start and do that. This one's great. It's all so good. There's just so many great projects in here. Again, a nice book. Good to have in my stash. Okay, I think that is gonna wind me up here. I'm at 56 minutes. I do have a giveaway. I know, I saved it to the end. Because I loved it so much, I wasn't even gonna get it, and then I bought it twice. So I have an extra copy of Catherine Dawson. If you would like to stitch this with me, let's see, you're gonna just make a comment and let's use the word tree. I don't know why, tree. I'm looking out at the trees. So if you would like to stitch this with me, just leave a comment. Put the word tree in the comments somewhere. You can integrate it into a sentence, or you can just write tree. Because I know we all got to move on and see the next floss tube. Oh, there's so many great floss tubers out there. I'm going to link a couple of people here. Tiny House Stitcher, I'm in love with her just like everybody else is. She's new to me. I think she has 3 or 4 floss tubes. Mountain Air, again, I'll put it across here if I'm getting it wrong. She is amazing. She has the most incredible studio. I mean, go see it just for the studio tour. And she does some great projects, and she's very, very enjoyable to watch. At any rate, giveaway, this will be on my next one. So if you'd like to stitch this with me, I will send it anywhere in the world, and that is my thank you to you for watching and for subscribing and for liking the channel. I really appreciate that. Okay, I think I'm gonna wind up today and just say, gosh, here we are in spring. I hope wherever you are in the world that all is well with you, and that you are carving out time every day to do the things that you love to do. And I'm wishing you many peaceful hours with your needle and thread. Bye, everybody.